What if the problem today isn't God, but how much your faith can still endure? You don't doubt that He exists, you don't doubt that He can, you don't doubt that He is faithful. What you are starting to doubt is whether you still have enough faith to keep believing. Your head knows the promises, but your heart seems exhausted. You even pray, but you whisper it, thinking, is there anything left in me that can still wait? It's as if your faith is running on reserve mode right at the start of the morning. This kind of weakness hits a sensitive spot. You see people speaking with conviction, posting strong quotes, always seeming full of certainty, and you feel like the defective Christian in the group. Deep down, the prayer that best matches you is the Father's in Mark 9 verse 24. I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief. One part of you clings to God fiercely, another part is tired of asking, tired of waiting, tired of being beaten by the same situation. Then comes the guilt. If I only had more faith, perhaps things would be different. However, the Bible does not treat weak faith as something discardable. Isaiah 40 verse 29 says that God gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 speaks of power being made perfect in weakness, not in steel-like faith. This means the Lord does not look at your shaky faith with disgust. He approaches precisely when you admit, I cannot handle this alone. The part of you that feels like a failure is exactly where He wants to pour new strength, not condemnation. This morning prayer is born from that honest recognition. Lord, today my faith is weak, but I still want to seek you. This is not content for those at their peak. It is an encounter for those who woke up at their limit, but still choose to set aside this small time with God. If you are watching on TV, there is a small QR code in the corner of the screen. When this prayer ends and you have a quiet moment, you can point your phone at it and find other prayers for days when faith is wavering. And, if you know you need this type of strengthening often, you can subscribe and walk with us in prayer, morning after morning. For now, just stay. Take a deep breath. You don't need to prove anything to God now, or pretend a faith you don't feel. In the next segment, we will deepen what this weakness of faith has been doing to your heart, the way you see God and yourself, and begin to see how God Himself stoops down to strengthen those who come saying only, I still believe, but I need help. As faith gets tired, it's not just hope for the future that wavers. The way you see God also begins to change. Back then, you saw Him as a present Father, ready to listen, full of care. Now, on days of weariness, a part of you begins to imagine a distant, silent God, perhaps even a little disappointed. He must be tired of seeing me always struggling with the same things. Your mind convinces you that God is answering other people, but skipping your turn in line. This feeling trickles down into your identity. You start seeing yourself as the weak believer, the one who never makes it, the one who doesn't have enough faith to see answers. Every seemingly unanswered prayer, every promise that seems to take too long, becomes an argument against yourself. Instead of saying, this situation is difficult, the internal discourse shifts to, I am the problem. The external pain transforms into internal accusation, and soon the question is not just, why didn't God answer? It is, what is wrong with me? In this scenario, guilt tries to dress up as spirituality. Thoughts like, if I prayed more, if I fasted more, if I were more faithful, start running wild. Of course, seeking God is precious, but here the logic changes. It is no longer a response to grace, it is an attempt to compensate for a feeling of debt. You approach God not as a beloved child, but as an insecure employee trying to prove they still deserve to remain in the company. And this robs you of something essential, the freedom to be authentic before Him. The Word, however, tells a different story. In Psalm 103, God is described as a Father who knows our frame and remembers that we are dust. Jesus did not reject Thomas because of his doubt, but approached him showing the marks. Peter denied Him, faltered, cried, and was still restored by Christ Himself. The Bible does not hide people with shaky faith. It shows a God who remains when faith falters. He is not just the God of the moments when you are strong, He is precisely the God of the pre-dawn hours when you say, I don't know how to keep believing anymore. In the next segment, we will look at how God, in fact, strengthens those who come weak, not with religious scolding, but with promise, presence, and grace poured out onto those who admit, I don't have much strength left, but I still want to hold onto your hand. From there, we will begin to move toward the practical part of this morning prayer, asking in His presence for a faith sustained not by your performance, but by the strength of God Himself. When faith weakens, many people expect to find a demanding supervisor in God, ready to say, "Try harder." But the way the Bible shows God's heart is very different. Isaiah 40 verse 29 says He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. This means that the target of His care is not the one who thinks they are strong. It is precisely the one who admits, "I have nowhere left to draw from." The weakness you try to hide is exactly the address to which God's strength is moving. When Paul hears from the Lord Himself, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness," 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9, something changes in the way he sees his limitation. He doesn't start to love the pain, but he starts to understand that he doesn't need to pretend to be steel to be used by God. Weakness becomes a place of encounter, not shame. The same is true for you. This phase where your faith seems small does not disqualify you. It may be precisely the soil where God will show that the one who sustains the story is not the strength of your hand, it is His faithfulness. Hebrews 12 verse 2 calls Jesus the author and perfecter of our faith. That is, He not only started the work in you, He also committed to maturing that faith until the end. It is not you pulling your belief by the hair every day. It is He, with patience, teaching you to trust, sometimes in very small steps. A verse that sheds light on a dark day, an unexpected answer, a peace that shouldn't exist amid the chaos. Each of these gestures is God saying, "I am still here, I am still writing, I am still strengthening you from within." In practice, often God's way of strengthening faith is not by immediately removing the struggle, but by revealing Himself in the middle of it. He doesn't disappear in silence, He whispers. He doesn't vanish in the waiting, He sustains. Philippians 1 verse 6 declares that He who began a good work is faithful to complete it. This includes the work in your faith. In the next segment, this truth will become guided prayer. You will be led to say with whatever words you have, something like, "Lord, my faith today is small, but it is yours. Strengthen what is weak in me and hold what I cannot hold alone." From there, we will walk together in a morning prayer where sincerity comes first and God's strength comes right after. There comes a point where it is not enough just to understand that God strengthens. You need to place your own faith in His hands. If you can, stay silent for a moment where you are. Take a deep breath and very simply say softly, "Lord, today my faith is tired, but I still want to seek you." This is not humiliation, it is truth. God is not offended by this phrase. He approaches it. Confessed weakness becomes an open door for His strength to enter. With your hand over your heart, you can continue. "Jesus, you know the prayers I've prayed and haven't seen answered yet, the promises that seem delayed, the struggles that repeat. You know where my faith has been wounded. I surrender these places to you now. If tears come, let them come." It is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign that the heart is stopping its pretense. Then you can say, "I do not have perfect faith, but the little that I have I place in your hands today." It is also worth taking a specific situation and presenting it before God. "Father, in this area here I almost cannot believe anymore. I surrender this to you, and I ask, do not let my faith die." Then, respond with the word, "You promised that you give strength to the weary. You promised that your power is made perfect in weakness. So I am here, weak, asking, perfect your power in me." When you pray like this, you are not relying on the quality of your faith, but on the character of God. Another step is to ask for help for the moments when faith wavers throughout the day. "Holy Spirit, when my heart starts to lose heart again, remind me that Jesus is the author and perfecter of my faith. When I think of giving up, show me a sign of your presence, however small, so that I do not let go of your hand." This prayer creates an alliance for the whole day. You commit to being sincere, and God commits to sustaining. In the next segment, this conversation will transform into a seal over your day. We will consecrate the next hours to the Lord, asking not for a superhero faith, but a real faith, sustained by grace. And you will be invited to carry, as an anchor phrase, something simple and profound. "Lord, when my faith is little, may your strength be much in me." Before you get up, this is the moment to seal everything you have spoken to God. Be silent for a few seconds and then declare, "Jesus, I consecrate this day to you, just as my faith is, small, tired, but still yours. Don't try to increase your faith through the power of thought. Just place what you have in His hands. Then you can pray, Lord, do not let today's weariness erase what you already did for me yesterday. Remind me of your faithfulness when my hope wavers. It is important to surrender the concrete areas where you need strength. Say something like, Father, strengthen my faith in this specific situation, in this treatment, this process, this door that has not yet opened, this person I have been praying for so long. Do not let my faith die halfway. Then reaffirm, I believe, help my unbelief. Increase my trust, even if circumstances still do not change. God is not waiting for you to become strong to then act. He acts precisely in the midst of your weakness. If you are watching on TV, that small QR code in the corner of the screen is a discreet invitation. When this prayer ends and you have a quiet moment, you can point your phone at it and find other prayers for days when faith is wavering. It is not about accumulating videos. It is about having a place of refuge when your heart is hanging by a thread. If you know you need this type of strengthening often, you can also subscribe and walk with us in prayer, morning after morning, letting God work on your faith one day at a time. To carry this truth with you, a simple phrase can accompany you. Jesus, sustain the faith I cannot sustain alone. Throughout the day, when discouragement tries to knock you down, you can whisper, when my faith feels weak, Lord, be my strength. Not as a mantra, but as a reminder that it is not the strength of your faith that saves you. It is the strength of the God in whom you believe. In the closing of the video, the invitation will be directly to the heart. If this prayer spoke to you, write in the comments, Lord, strengthen my faith today as an act of faith, even while weary. If you need specific intercession, leave a word like faith, health, family, provision, or purpose, and we will present your life to the Lord. And if this time built you up, like the video, subscribe to the channel Still Grace Prayers, and when the final screen appears, choose the next prayer to keep walking, even with shaky faith, in the hands of a God who never shakes.